Okay, for our next piece, we're going to be creating a painting, actually an oil pastel, that is based off of your favorite quote from a poem. It could be a quote by an artist. I did this quote by an artist by Picasso. And the quote is, "Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist." All right, and I think that's a great quote there by Picasso, because you really do need to know the basics, know the rules before you can break the rules when it comes to art making. So you'll notice that I then went through and I numbered each one, and I numbered the spaces in between, and so I came up with a number of 61, including the period at the end. And you'll see why I did that later. Is because we need to know how many boxes we'll need to create our design for this particular project. And so the next thing you're going to do is you need to create a 1-inch grid onto your paper. So you'll have a big sheet of paper like this. The easiest way to do that is to use your ruler. The ruler itself is 1 inch thick. So what I do is I put the ruler right at the edge of the paper. You'll notice it's right at the edge, all the way across, and then I draw a line. And then I match up the ruler with that line, and then I draw another line. So that's 1 inch, right? And so I just continue doing that. Drawing across, drawing across, continue going until you have the whole side of the paper here, going horizontal first. Now, if it ends up a little bit uneven at the end, don't worry about that, because we can cut that off later. And then I'm going to go this way. So now I'm going to match up the ruler to this edge, and I'm going to keep going with the creating a grid. So again, what I'm doing is I'm creating a 1 inch grid. Notice I'm matching the ruler up with the line that I created before, and it's going to create a 1 inch grid all the way across, because the ruler is 1 inch thick. Now, when you choose your poem or your quote, please choose something that is about a sentence, at least a sentence long. Like, for example, the one that I chose is at least one sentence. If you choose something that's only 2 or 3 words, then you're going to have a lot of area to fill in, a lot of blank space. And so it's better to have the letters rather than a lot of blank space. And you'll notice that this one is also a little bit bigger, but that's okay, this side here of the squares. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start not in the very first square, but I'm going to count down 1 and 2 and count over 1. And then I'm going to start writing out my phrase into the blocks. I'm going to leave those blocks around the edges, and we'll be doing a design in there toward the end. But so again, the quote that I have here is, "Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist." So I'm going to start with the word learn. And so when I draw in the letters, I want the letter to take up the entire box. You'll notice how it's touching on 3 sides there. So that's the L, and then the E. So let the blocks, the squares, help you in designing the letters. So an E. So there's L, E, and then A. Do an A like this. You'll notice I'm doing capital letters so that it fills up more of the square. Okay. R. You'll see that most of the letter is the cube itself, especially with something like N. It's taking up most of the square. So there's learn, and then I'm going to skip a space and then go to T for the. And then an H. E again. Okay. Learn the, then I'm going to skip, and then I'm going to go to, for rules, R. And then U. Now, you'll notice now I'm at the edge, right? And so I'm going to skip down, even though it's breaking the word, I'm going to skip down R, U, and I'm going to do the L down here. So we got another L under this L, because I'm still doing the word rules. So I'm just going to skip down, even though the word is broken. And then E again. And then S. Again, I want that S to take up as much space as possible in the square. So learn the rules, and I would skip L, I, K, E, S. You might want to just lightly write in which letter is going to be in which area first before you start drawing them in. But you see, I'll go ahead and write out the entire phrase or quote or part of a poem, and that's the first part of this before we will be using the oil pastels on this particular piece. All right? Good luck. If you need any help, ask me, and have fun.